He's Bill Ryder, and he's Ryder than you.
The program Ryder than you, sometimes.
He's a fan.
I love sports so much.
He's in your face.
I will destroy those obnoxiously arrogant, clueless, tone-deaf superstars who are marginal players, good players, who made careers, who think they're Hall of Famers.
He's nice.
I promise, we're nice here.
He's humble.
I think I'm pretty good if you're on the show about admitting if I got it wrong.
Live from Los Angeles, here's Bill Ryder.
We start the show off with two lies. I'm not in Los Angeles. I'm in Barcelona. And the show's not live. It's a podcast. That's where we are. Hello. What's up? Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. What's up, Stewie? TGS?
How we doing, Bill? I'm great. How you doing?
I'm great. I was on a pretty good schedule here in Barcelona. And then Lori and I went out to a place called Bobby Gin last night. As you might imagine, it serves a lot of gin.
That was my first question.
Yeah.
What was the main thing on the menu? Yes.
Words you should never say after midnight. I'll have another, let alone multiple times. Mailbag show part 2. Yesterday we did a mailbag show with Pretty Daddy. Today we're going to do a stew. Yesterday's show was free because it's Tom and his microphone doesn't work. Today's will be behind the paywall because it's Stu and he's got a microphone that works. The end. Yeah. I gotta here we go. Like that. There we go.
Yays for me and not for Tom.
Unbelievable, Tommy. Why don't we just come on, dude? I'll send you a microphone. All right, let's jump right into it. No, you know what? I'm gonna go glasses free for the show. You ready for this?
Oh wow.
Oh, damn.
This is a different look for Bill.
Either because I'm so cool or because I can't read my phone with my glasses on because I'm old as bleach. All right, here we go. Bert Clark starts off mailbag pod. Nicely done, gentlemen. I watch football, but not like I should. I think that's a perfect primer. Here's a mailbag question for Bill. TJS, that's you, it's Two Girls Stew. Are you going to a World Cup game? I want to take my twin boys to a U.S. game and then saw the prices. Wow. I'm a one-income teacher and can't seem to justify the cost, and I live close enough to L.A. where I wouldn't even have to get a room. So unfair, end quote, from Bert. Are you going to go to a game, Stu?
Yeah, so I live in New Jersey. I'm like a 15-minute ride from MetLife Stadium, where there I believe are 5 group stage games, as well as a couple knockout round games, as well as the final. Definitely not going to the final. I'll tell you that much.
Oh right yeah, the finals there.
I could guarantee you that based off those prices. I mean, yeah, that would be insane. I do hope to go to a group stage match. Unfortunately, my application for an England match in New Jersey was denied a few days ago. So
can you explain this? So I don't understand that. So basically, you put in for a lottery for affordable tickets.
Yes,
and that date is passed.
That date has passed. That date passed, I believe, on Sunday. It's either Saturday or Sunday. Me and a few other people I know got emails for different countries, different locations, saying they got denied. I do know one person that got accepted for Haiti. My buddy Waldy, who is Haitian, and Haiti is playing in Boston in one of their group stage matches, and he got accepted. So he is very excited. He
got reasonable prices on that.
Reasonable enough. I think like a couple $100 a ticket.
I mean, that's what it costs, right?
Yeah.
I'm in Barcelona, and we were going to go to there's a Barcelona Atletico Madrid Copa del Rey match tomorrow. It's in Madrid. The first it's 2 matches, so we're not going to go. But had they drawn out of the hat that it was here first, which was 50%, of course, I think it would have been 150 euros, and we would have gone 4 of us. It would have been super expensive, and we just would have done it. So a couple $100. I think that's the price of doing business.
I think that's fine. So, long story short, I think I don't know. We'll see what the prices look like. If they are reasonable enough, I will definitely go to a match, and that's the hope. But
on the secondary market,
promises on the secondary market,
you're not going.
You're not. I know going. You have to hope that there's going to be some, somewhat reasonable group stage ticket. But
you have great games. I'm looking at England. Yep, great. I guess it is a great game. Germany, interesting. Norway has Holland. France,
yep,
one of the best teams in the world. I mean, Brazil versus Morocco, by the way, might be one of the games.
Great game.
Yeah,
and France Senegal is pretty good too. I would go to that in a heartbeat.
Are they pretty good? I don't follow the African teams. Did you watch not the African Cup? It's called the
African Cup of Nations. Yes, I did. Senegal won it. They are the best. They are.
I should have watched
I would say Monaco's the best team in Africa.
Right, Monaco's
Senegal's fairly close. I think
Morocco. You
Senegal,
mean Morocco?
Yes, Morocco.
Yeah.
That's Monaco. I've done that before. I think Senegal's like 18th in the FIFA rankings or something like that. So they're pretty good.
Our games are bad. I'm trying to remember. I guess Canada no, that's in Toronto. Oh, this is totally screwed up. Anyway, Bert, we're not going to go. We also aren't rich. I have a buddy who got.
Tough.
He might be a subscriber to I think he is a paid subscriber to the show, but I don't think he's ever listened to it. He just randomly bought the 2 tickets to some. And it's one of the knockout games, so I guess he doesn't know who it is yet.
Oh,
I
well,
think
it's going to be a good game if it's a
I know.
knockout game. You would imagine, right? You're going to get at least one pretty high caliber country in there.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. By the way, this
believe it.
brings me to a deeper problem that I have, and I wasn't going to bring it up on the show because I thought maybe as you get older, your sort of perspective changes and think, the old when I was younger, I walked uphill both ways. But I think it's real. I've seen people talking about this. The price of admission in general now for sports is outrageous. And I know that it's an old sort of trope to just complain about how much it costs to take your kid to a baseball game. But Henry, my son Henry, who loves sports, taking him to anything is outrageous. I mean, most of the things I've taken him to have been people offering tickets and do you want to come along with us?
Sure.
The World Cup is something he's been looking forward to for years. I mean, and I've talked on the old radio show that Henry was having a rough time a few years ago, wasn't very good at sports, decided to take up soccer, literally couldn't kick a soccer ball. Kids weren't very nice to him about it. He started to improve a little bit. And maybe I'll tell this sometime if anyone's interested and hasn't heard it. Most of you probably have. Meets Messi in a moment of sort of kindness from Leo Messi at an LAFC game. Messi signs his shirt. We have it framed. And Henry the next day or the next soccer game goes out and scores a goal and then just starts becoming a goal machine and his confidence explodes. And so I've seen firsthand the power of sports in a young person's life to really transform them, right? And so that's the context of why I love soccer, a big part of it, and why my son does. And I've had to sit him down and just say, we can't go. We can't. He understands. He's not mad. We live in a community with a lot of wealth. We don't have a lot of wealth, so it's been a good life lesson for our kids. But it's obnoxious, Stu. It pisses me off. And to Bert's point, Bert's a one-income teacher, right? He's doing God's work. He's doing great work. He's doing meaningful work. Not everybody's richy rich, right? Not everybody's got all the cash in the world, and those folks can't go to games. And it's not just soccer; it's a lot of these. The Super Bowl's become an event that's almost exclusively for the rich. Yeah. It is for the right. It's just, and I'll go a little further. I saw this back in Miami when I was covering the Heat, sort of a preview of what this looks like, where everyone would make fun of the Heat for no one showing up in the lower bowl, even the big games. But the tickets were sold; just all the rich people bought them, and not to be sort of. I mean, I want to be rich. Good for you if you're rich. A lot of times those folks have those tickets, and friends of mine have those tickets because it's a business thing, and they take client. They don't care, and so the energy is missing. Anyway, here's my gripe. I wish that I know that sports is a business. I wish we could create a situation where there's a lot more tickets available for everyday fans.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. And the place where we used to work, they used to give out pretty nice Yankee tickets to us whenever they were available. And one of those times was Legends tickets, which are literally first row, right next to the out.
That's amazing.
They have a pair that they have for every game. And I guess this one random game in April a couple years ago, they didn't have any client that wanted it. So I was lucky enough to get offered it and went with Angie, and we loved it. But it is quite the experience where basically it's all you can eat, lobster and steak and all. Are you
kidding?
Oh no, I'm serious. Yeah.
So this is when you work at the Infinity Sports Network, yes. And it's not lost on me that the network was actually not infinite.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just one of those experiences where you're with a group of people where you're like, okay, I don't belong with these people because these people clearly have $800 to spend on a ticket for a random Yankees versus at the time Oakland A's game in the end of April. So yeah, it's crazy in that area of seats where you are.
There's an old expression, and I always credit it to F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it's probably from I don't know, Beverly Hillbillies or something. But there's an old expression that the rich aren't like you and me, and the way that I've most often seen this is at the Intuit Dome, the Clippers' new arena. If you're in the press room and you have to use bathroom, I think it is. No, you have to get into the elevator to go to certain seats. You have to walk through the exclusive club area.
Ooh.
And they stop you and like, oh, I'm the media. Like, oh yeah, just go straight through into the right. And you sort of walk through everybody partying, all the rich people. And you're like, oh, this is Jerry Maguire. First class used to be a better way to travel. Now it's a better life. And with all due respect to you had me at hello, it's always been a better life. Okay. Trevor on the Mailbag show, looking forward to Henrier Than You. So there's been this movement to get some Henry content.
Yes.
I will say this. I'm going to play this at the end of the show forever. But Henry wants to be a producer. He wants to do beats. So he put together beats for the end of the show. You want to hear it? This will be like a little Henry Than You preview. Here it is. This is the beat, Henry. So this is how we'll close the show out. Unless we don't like it, then you got to tell. I like it though.
I think it's awesome.
It's a little too cool for me, right? Like
it is cool.
This is Stu's beat. Yo,
this is the TGS beat.
So Trevor, we will get a Henrier Than You. He wants to be on the show. He heard about this and he said, great. And I think I offered him to record something for this show. And he said, no, Dad, when I do the show, I have to stay home from school. What are you paying me? Right? I'm not paying you. Then I don't want to go to school. All right, we'll discuss it. Yesterday's show got a little edgy because no name Mick producer guy, Bart's, I think Bart's producer on the Tinkyverse or whatever Bart's doing over there, came at me on X and whatever. I got a little animated. I got a little animated on the show. So I'm gonna out someone's name here, and I'm gonna do a social experiment. So when this is Mailbag in the sense that I just put it in here myself. A week and a half ago, I did a fairly long story on LeBron James on the 1-year anniversary of LeBron calling me an effing lie. And I wrote pretty candidly about the sort of politics of LeBron's operation, some of the people by name, one in particular who manages LeBron James's universe and world stew. And I mentioned that I think the next day that someone paid for the show. And then my suspicion was, but they only did it on a free trial. My suspicion was, like in The Godfather, whoever comes to you first is the traitor. That this person maybe would pass on this stuff to LeBron's people because they're not going to pay for the paywall. It was behind the paywall. That person, I said, though, I wouldn't out them if they actually, the 7-day free trial, if they paid for it, I wouldn't.
Yes.
I'm now going to name the famous media member who got the free trial but didn't pay for it to read the article that he was mentioned in. I'm also going to tag him. And on the tags, when you do a podcast, it'll come up in a Google search if he Google searches his own name, which I do not do for me. This does not mean that he's not the world's biggest Bill Ryder fan. Maybe he just, but the person was Dave McMenamin. Dave McMenamin signed up for the podcast. He covers the Lakers for ESPN. And I know Dave a little bit, like not a lot. Seems like a nice guy. I mean, I've interacted with Dave like 2 times in my life outside of seeing him at games. Once he reached out to me when I was at Fox Sports about a job. He was in Cleveland. I think he was tired of Cleveland. Does Fox Sports have anything? And I believe my answer was, you don't want to work here, man. Stay at ESPN. And no, we don't. And he's really talented. And the other time I saw him at a bar at the Final Four, he was partying like an animal. Actually, I saw him on a date once, but I was in Cleveland once. He was just on a date, so I left him alone. So Dave McMenamin is the person who immediately signed up for the story. And I'm not saying that Dave signed up for the free trial, didn't pay, and passed it on to LeBron's people. I'm not saying that. Just saying my suspicion was that whoever did it first would be that person, right? Dave, correct the record if you're listening. Okay, yesterday, all right, Will McBroom Man, what a great name, McBroom.
It's a great name.
Got swept. I mean, there's something in there.
McBroom.
It's a great name.
It's a great name. Of course it is.
Great show. However, believe the term you're looking for is glazing, not glossing. So yesterday I kept saying, my kids say that I kiss up to people and I gloss them. It's glaze people. You know what? Glazing. Oh boy,
that's funny.
All right. Here's another one very quickly, and then we'll get into some of this other stuff. I had a dream, Stu, the other day. When's the last time that I used to do this to Pretty Daddy all the time because it would freak him out. If he was in a dream of mine, or if I had a weird dream, I'd bring it up on the air, and he would be so uncomfortable. When you were producing me, which was years ago,
yeah,
did we ever discuss my dreams?
No, I don't think so. Not that I remember, not that's vivid in my memory.
Does this count as a mailbag that I'm just like, here's something I dreamt about? This is my dream sending, some postage via the subconscious to the Stamped as a dream. All right. So I'm in Barcelona on vacation. I have not been able to. I've taken my kids on vacation, but I haven't been able to take them on. We call it ski week, which I find very pretentious. But ski week is our first spring break of the year. Haven't been able to hang out with my kids for ski week in 6 years or something because it's always been a very busy NBA time when I had that job. So we show up here. It's great. We have 2 cats. Kind of glad to be away from the cats. So there's 2 parts of my dreams. One, I opened the suitcase and both the cats. Lori had packed the cats to Barcelona, and I was furious. And in the same dream, I don't know what you and Tom did. And I don't pay you, so this doesn't make sense. But I fired you guys. I was outraged, and I fired you, Stu. You're fired.
Jeez.
I know.
Oh no. This
Does
is a
anyone
sign
do
of things
dream
to come.
interpretation? I have a distant. I have like a. You know how dreams sometimes are vivid and sometimes aren't. I remember the cats.
Yes.
You were refusing to work, or I don't know what it was.
Oh,
Tom
God.
basically got caught up in the rage.
I feel like it'd be the opposite. I feel like Tom would be the one that would be in the rage, and I would just get caught up in it. But I could be wrong.
All right, we are going to go deep on
At
this.
least you don't have cats with you right now. That would be quite the if you saw that when you actually got this.
If she smuggled cats to Spain,
Spain.
They somehow survived.
Well, that's another thing. That would be a tough because I know you had a layover. Plus, that's what, like 15 hours of flying. Also, flying or something like that.
We do all carry on, so I would have been pulling those cats to the airport. What was that? Did you hear meow? No, that was just excuse me.
Just a wheel on my luggage.
My wheel on my luggage. Very excited about this mailbag question. We're gonna go deep on this, and we'll offer this service to anybody. We offered, was it a couple weeks ago, Stu, to pick out a soccer team?
2 weeks ago. Yep.
All right. So David Bandioli, frequent listener, subscriber, wrote and said, "Hey, I'd like to take you up on an offer you made with your recent soccer discussion with TGS, where you said to reach out if getting into soccer fandom seems daunting. I like soccer, and I've had periods in my life throughout my 30s where I did invest energy into it, but it was MLS." Okay. So I'm going to try to cut down this information as much as possible. All right. He was born and raised in Eugene, Oregon. He lives there. He's a big Ducks fan. He thinks he wants to get into La Liga because he has some personal connections to Spain. His wife lived in Madrid for 3 years. Madrid is a great city. I'm a Barcelona fan. See right here. So it's like Real Madrid is sort of my enemy. And by sort of, I mean, I hate them. It's an amazing city. Ultimately, not even sure what I'm asking, but I have a targeted question. Okay. How is the best way to watch La Liga soccer in the U.S. streaming? ESPN's app, ESPN Plus is the way to do it. They're all on there. It's easy. Yep. They do a really good job. There's also a show. I meant to bring this up, and Lori mentioned this. ESPN FC is a 1-hour daily show on ESPN Plus. It's one of the best shows on TV.
Good
call. And it's a great way to learn soccer. I've learned so much watching that show the last 4 or 5 years. All right. So basically, and I think I sent you, Stu, the sort of like condensed version of this. Let me just give the listeners his sort of. There's a lot of information here, but basically, okay. He's comfortable adapting to a team if there's a player that he admires. He liked Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, Steve Young, passionate Bulls fan because of MJ back in the day. So he's a guy who great players can attract him to a team, right? It can be that direction. His professional sports allegiances are very mixed. Seahawks, Mariners, Trailblazers, and basketball. He loves Jokic, so he watches them. NFL, he likes the Chiefs because of Andy Reid and his amazing coach Mahomes, so he likes them. He cheers for the Chargers because of Justin Herbert. Teams I want to root for would be one that isn't mired in controversy in its respective sport or fits to throw all the money at it to be good type of framework. So I do think that rules out Real Madrid, doesn't it? Who I hate.
Especially with the controversy, yes. But yeah, I think it definitely rules out Real Madrid, yes.
Yeah. Also, the one thing that has always bugged me about the sport of soccer, European football, and is a bit of a roadblock of jumping all the way in, is the flopping, excessive theatrics, and sometimes manifests itself in the game strategy. Okay. Now, I've asked my brother, Bobby, who's also a big soccer guy, and before I give his answer, I'm just going to say that he did point out something that I thought was interesting. And Bob went more Premier League, right? Because he's a Premier League guy, but David's looking for La Liga, but Bob pointed out that there's a lot of ugly, depends on your politics, your sort of view, but a lot of nation states and oligarchs who control soccer, right? Yes. Saudi Arabians, wealth fund, and Qatar. And that I think has has an impact. Now that's not true in La Liga because they're not allowed to own those teams. So I think Bob basically said, tell your guy not to pick one of those teams. I think it narrows it down to La Liga for me. He wants La Liga.
He asked for La Liga specifically.
Yeah.
So
where would you go on this? Where would you point him toward?
Okay. So I asked Google Gemini as well, AI.
You did.
And
you plugged it in.
It gave me something different than what I thought of in my first thought in actually thinking about this. So my thought was, okay, he likes the city of Madrid. Like we said, we're ruling out Real Madrid because of the controversy and the throwing money at players.
Real quick, David. They're super obnoxious. They hate each other. Vinny flops all the time.
We don't like Real Madrid.
There's real corruption when it comes to the officiating that is universally accepted. They're the Yankees if they cheated, I guess would be if they had cheated all the time. Yeah. So you don't. All right, sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so what did Gemini tell you?
Okay, so myself told me Atletico Madrid.
That's what I thought.
Obviously it's in Madrid, which is right up his alley. I think they have a team that is always pretty competitive. It's tough for them to win La Liga, but they are always, third, fourth. They've won it a couple times. I think that was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. At this point, they won the league. But
let me jump in, David and everyone else. The cool thing about soccer is winning is obviously the goal. But if you finish in the top 4 or top 5 of your league, you go to this thing called Champions League. So 1 is a goal, and 4 or 5 is a goal, and not being so there's different levels of so just because you finish in the top 4 doesn't mean it's almost there. No, you're there for another tier of excellence.
Yeah, and they've been in Champions League every year, pretty much that I followed. I can't remember the last time they weren't in Champions League. I think they got to Champions League final like 10, 12 years ago as well. Right. So they do have that kind of success. Their manager, at least at the moment, Diego Simeone, he is.
I can't stand him.
I know a lot of people don't.
I can't stand watching his style. So defensive.
Well, that's the thing I was gonna say. It's more of like a rugged style, and he doesn't like the flopping. And it's hard. It's hard to pinpoint a team that doesn't flop because players come and go so often. And
Bob gave me one in La Liga. I'll be curious if it's the one that Gemini gave you.
Okay, do you want to know what Gemini gave me?
Yeah,
Athletic Club.
That's what Bob gave me.
Interesting.
Okay,
very
so
interesting.
David, Athletic Club's never going to win La Liga. They're going to compete to be in the top 4, and it's not going to happen every year. Top 4 will send them the Champions League, which is a secondary league tournament that happens throughout the year that's incredible. You'll have to get Paramount Plus for that. It's where basically all the top teams from different leagues play each other. So remember when baseball had interleague play? Think about that on steroids. It's where Barcelona can play Bayern. The German champion can play the Spanish champion or the runner-up or the 3rd or 4th place. Athletic Club is in Bilbao. It's in the Basque Country, which is, Spain is made up of different kind of. They don't consider themselves Spanish. Like Catalans here don't consider themselves Spanish. Basques don't consider themselves Spanish. The politics of sort of Spain are really interesting in their soccer clubs. Athletic Club only plays Basque players. You have to be either Basque, which is by the way, it's a lost language. And I've read about people think it's not probably, but people think Basque might be from the lost city of Atlantis because it has no connection to the Latin languages. They have no idea where the language came from. It's a total mystery. So it's a very unique and proud and culture. The people are awesome. I've been there. It's amazing. They only play Basque players. You have to be Basque or you have to have been born in the Basque country, right? And so unlike, Real Sociedad, who's up the way in San Sebastian, where they'll just take anybody, the odds of them succeeding are really, really low.
Yeah, in terms of winning the league or winning a Champions League, they could probably win a Europa League or a Conference League, which is that secondary, Champions League, if you will. I love it, and just imagine Manchester United only having English players like that. They're the only club that I know that does that. At least on a big, I'm not talking about some of these smaller countries. Like I'm sure there are other smaller countries that have clubs that only have players from their country, but I think that's one of the unique things. Like they are limited to a specific group of players, and they will not vary from those players. And they also, and this could change in the summer, but they also have one of the better, more exciting offensive attacking players in the whole sport.
Yeah,
in Nico Williams. So
yeah, do you think he's going to leave this summer?
I don't know. You never know. I just say
you never signed a new deal.
He just signed a new deal, but in this sport, as you know, weird things happen in the summer. The one thing I'll say is
so much money too.
They did. He'll probably stay. So you have that going for you too. The one thing I will say is don't attach yourself to players in this sport because they do change and go for big, especially if you don't pick a, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
See, that's what I was gonna. I didn't want. I haven't brought it up yet.
Okay, this is your pitch. Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. This might not work with his wife, but you are attracted to like certain players. Lamine Yamal is an 18-year-old Barcelona star who is. Let me not be a top 3 player in the world.
Yes,
he's the best player in the world, isn't he?
I especially for his age and what you know he's going to be, and the fact that he contributes basically every single game, a goal or assist. It seems like amazing. It's unbelievable. Yes, I would say so.
He also, David, he's really likable. He's cocky. He's got kind of this Brazilian inspiration, but he's a good person. He's a great teammate. He works relatively hard on defense for a star. There's a lot to like. His maturity. He's faced some things that have nothing to do with football, soccer already. I would just suggest that. But look, David likes the Chiefs because of Mahomes, and he likes the Chargers because of Herbert, and he likes star player. Barcelona is always going to be filled with superstars. They're always going to be competitive, and they're probably going to win a lot. Their coaches are going to change a lot. I wouldn't pick them because of their coach, but Hansi Flick is probably the best manager, one of the 3 best managers in the world right now.
Yep.
You're always going to have great teams, but it's going to be a weird juxtaposition where Barcelona is always going to be dominant, but because of the politics of Spain, they're also always going to be against, basically. La Liga hates them, and the refs hate them because of sort of the politics of sort of Catalonia versus Spain, which I won't explain. But it's interesting. I think Athletic is worth picking. I think Athletic, ATH is in Bilbao, is one Stu and I are talking about with Nico Williams. Athletic, ATLETIC, Atletico Madrid. I wouldn't pick. They're a cool club, but their style is really, really boring. They're basically defensive.
Yeah, they're very defensive.
Yeah, think a football team. Think a football team that basically literally tries to win every game 12-3 and does it sometimes. But then they play Mahomes and they lose 35-3, and you're like, oh, I hate these guys. That's Atletico Madrid. I would just make a case for Barcelona.
They also don't spend crazy like you think they would. I know maybe in the past years they've spent a ton of money, but the recent 4, 5, 6 years they're not in the transfer window spending hundreds of millions of dollars on players. So, they do attract a lot of players, but a lot of players are also from the academy. So that's also one thing where, again, it's not like Real who's throwing money at guys every summer.
All right, so I think if you were going to go between Athletic Bilbao, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona, where would you push David?
I mean, it's hard not to push him to Barcelona just because of the history but it's just the only thing that gets me is that he basically made it clear that he loves Madrid, the city.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Are you going to really base it just off of the city? I know that's kind of what you did.
That's why yeah, I mean, I'm here now. I mean, we love the city. I wasn't a fan of the team, so I'll take it back. If Madrid, the city, is sort of your inspiration, you can't choose Barcelona. You can't choose Real Madrid.
No, you can't.
I think it's Atletico or it's Athletic.
Those are 2 awesome ones. Yeah,
I would choose Athletic because the soccer is really good. Drew, wait. You know what? That was a great answer by Stu. You know what? I'm really good at this. The buttons.
And also, he asked about, what's a good way to kind of like get into and start following, because it is kind of daunting.
It is daunting.
Start. I would just watch your team's matches first. You don't feel like you have to watch every match. You're not going to be able to watch every match, first of all.
Yes.
It's just impossible. You can watch highlights from every match, maybe. That might be the most you could do, but try to watch all your club's matches first. Try to watch like the big Champions League games and obviously the big, the big La Liga games, like the Barcelona, Real Madrid, obviously, like all those, the really big ones. Download. Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. I just thought. I'm sorry. Can I jump in? I just thought of this.
Yes.
There's this thing called the Copa del Rey. So I know this gets confusing, David. There's the league, La Liga. There's the Champions League. Well, we play other countries, and there's a thing called the Copa del Rey, where every team in one country, but like minor leagues, the equivalent of minor leagues as well, play each other in a separate tournament. Athletic Bilbao and Atletico Madrid are playing in this tournament. They're going to play.
Nice.
So Athletic plays today. So that game will be on probably when you're listening to this. Then they'll play again next week. And by the way, Athletic Bilbao is playing Real Sociedad. It's a derby, isn't it? It's a best, which means it's like two teams in the same area. Atletico is playing my Barcelona team tomorrow and next week. You might watch Athletic play if you listen to them enough time today, or next week, and watch them both play. Athletic and Atletico play, this week, next week, and then pick the team you like the most. Those will be passionate games.
Yeah,
that's what you do. Watch those games.
Watch those games. I didn't even realize they were playing, so that's great. Yeah, do that. That's also on ESPN Plus, right? Like all those
ESPN Plus
Del Rey games are ESPN Plus, so very accessible. All the La Liga stuff is right there for you in that one place. And download an app. I use FotMob. I know everyone kind of has a different soccer app.
I use OneFootball. You love FotMob.
I love FotMob. I think it's the best, and they have
it's
highlights.
It's a soccer app that aggregates everything.
Yeah, so it makes it kind of easy to follow things along and learn players and see when games are coming up and all that. So I would do those things, and I think you're kind of off to a good start, on the right track if you do those things.
Let me also add this and move on to another question, David. I don't want to get in the way of your marriage, and I respect absolutely that your wife has a connection to Madrid, and you should follow that. But I think it's good advice to watch Athletic and to watch Atletico Madrid, two separate teams, two separate opponents this week. If you happen to be watching Atletico Madrid against my Barca team, and you're rooting for Atletico maybe, but you find yourself falling in love with Barcelona, you don't know what to do. Remember, Darth Vader once looked at the Emperor and I'm not letting him do this with my kid, and threw him down like a shaft. It's okay to come back to the side of the light. The end. Okay. If you know, you know. Drew, so last week on one of the shows, I just brought up how weird I find it that when people sing, they don't have accents. Right? Have you noticed this? Was this with Tommy? If you listen to somebody sing, you can't tell where they're from. You can be talking to a guy and he's got a South African accent or a British accent or an American accent, or he speaks French as a first language, regular French accent. When they sing, it sounds like they're speaking in your dialect, right? Weird.
Right.
Drew weighs in on the mailbag. Hey, Bill, I actually have some random input on your question about why people sound the same while singing despite their accent. I went to the Eastman School in Rochester, New York, and can tell you that if an individual is classically trained, they are taught Latin, Italian-oriented vowel shaping. Therefore, most vowels in music are performed almost identically, especially if that artist is classically trained. That's not the entire reason, but at least from my experience, a big component. Hope this gives you some clarity. Have a good one. I thought it was just a glitch in the singularity, or not the singularity, in the matrix. So that's a better answer from Drew. Drew, good answer. Good job, dude. Have you ever noticed that though? I've watched. If you go watch the Beatles, right, do an interview back in the day on the Tonight Show. They've got their accents, and then they go sing, and you're like, oh, no, they're American. Not that they're American, but you get my drift.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, you would have no idea. Yeah. When I was little, I thought they were American. When I was 7 or 8 years old, I didn't know the difference. I didn't know they're from UK. Yeah, definitely.
Brett Weidel writes, quality. Thank you for doing it. To hell with Pretty Daddy. I don't even know the context of this. I forgot. I just like.
Yeah, I agree with him.
To hell with Pretty Daddy. Albeit solid advice lately. Right? This is on the Rider Than You Drunk show. So basically, he's been pitching that I get wasted and put it behind a paywall. Ooh. Rider Than You Drunk show is a no-brainer. All-time increase in paid subscribers. And damn, you're already absolutely transparent and candid. Who gives a bleep? Let it rip. Travel well. So I just wanted you to weigh in on this. Tom basically is no. The idea is I get hammered on 3 or 4 drinks and I do a podcast at 1 a.m.
Why is he against that? He's always against everything.
He's against everything. What, am I going to lose my job at CBS Sports?
You're not going to say anything no. You're not going to say anything crazy. You'll say something.
I'm not going to out Dave McMenamin.
Yeah, you would never do that.
Yeah,
not drunk. Right. No, you're not going to say anything. It'll
be funny if I got super calm.
It'll be funny. It'll be very funny. But I don't.
Do you know some people are mean drunks or funny drunks? What if I'm just a super Pretty Daddy drunk? I want to apologize to everybody. I won't be like that. I've been drunk. It ain't the way it goes.
No.
I'm just more me. Actually, pretty similar. I'm hard to understand. I think is
fair.
More hard to understand, more difficult. I brought up Moltbook to you, right? Last week, Moltbook.
You did. Yes, you did. Yes.
Scary.
Yes.
This is the social media app that's made for AI agents. Okay. And it sounds like the end of the world. Justin weighed in. Hey, Bill, the Moltbook sounds scary, but the AI agents involved are basically pulling data from existing sources, meaning that there is so much data about creating language, religions, etc. It's more like an accumulation of knowledge than maybe conscious thought. Even the phone call piece is a basic understanding of how we do things. I guess the point is AI doesn't scare me personally because humans always have a level of unpredictability in their thinking that's hard to replicate. Sorry this was so long. I'm really enjoying the pod. A, not too long. B, I love it. C, what if Justin's from Moltbook? He's trying to throw us off the scent. Nothing to see here. We are just like you.
You got an uptick in those, then you would certainly know. If there was like 7 of those similar, messages to you, that would be that would kind of be the the.
I'm still scared of it.
I know. I haven't done too much research on it since we talked about it last week, but
you don't want to know.
That sounds terrifying.
You don't want to know. Here's what I will say. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If artificial intelligence can decide to get a phone number, pay with a credit card, create a voice, program that it can speak and calls its maker and starts talking to him. I don't know where the spark of, I kind of have my own belief, but I don't know where, the spark of magic came from when humans sort of became, sentient creatures, but we got there. And that gave us people like Stu. That's scary enough. Okay. Here's what my wife wanted me to put in this. I don't even know how to tell this freaking story. So I'm in Barcelona. I'm in Barcelona, and Lori and my 16-year-old daughter, Madeline, decided to go shopping yesterday. Madeline was going to give Lori a makeover. I could pick her out an outfit. And basically, a woman walks up to Lori and Maddie in the dressing room and starts talking to them in Spanish. And, lo siento, no hablo bien español. The woman starts speaking in French. Lori's like, nope. It's a talent scout from a modeling agency trying to recruit my daughter.
Oh no!
They come back. And I'm like, this is a scam. Like this is a scam. Like this is a scam. And Madeline's excited. She's like, oh, is it, Daddy? I'm like, I mean, Lori's give me the how dare you. I'm like, Madeline, I love you. You're beautiful.
Right. How dare you?
So I, where's this? I don't even know where the name drop is on here. Let me just find the stupid name drop because I got all this stuff that's. This is my nightmare, by the way, dude. This is like my nightmare. Here we go.
Live.
Oh, that's
That's not it.
There we go. So I know one supermodel. That supermodel is Brooklyn Decker, right? Again, I know it's obnoxious because I know Andy. I write Roddick. By the way, Andy, who's not going to listen to this.
Uh-oh.
Whenever I write Roddick, it takes like 3 days to hear back from him. I write Roddick like, hey, this just happened. This is the name of the agency. Can you just ask Brooklyn if it's legit? And he writes back immediately. Like, I'll check. So I'm like, oh, he sees these. He's just ignoring most of my text messages.
Yeah, sounds right.
So thank you, Brooklyn, for writing back. And thank you, Andy, for figuring. So long story short, it's a super legitimate, above board, hyper powerful model agency. So now I'm going to decide if I'm going to let my kid, who obviously not Lori's genes, go to a model meet. They want to meet with her. I think I might just fly us home in 5 minutes. Where are we going?
Barcelona trip cut
Why are we
short.
Our suitcases? Don't ask. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's my.
Oh no, that is. You could have said 1,000 things. That is not what I thought was going to come out of your mouth. But that is, as a father, that must be terrifying.
It's awful.
That is terrifying.
I literally sat down and had like a adult conversation about the travails of modeling. She's like, "Dad, chill, be cool, stop glazing.
It is so funny. I am in the middle of Friday Night Lights right now. The first time watching that wonderful show. I am like
it's great.
I'm like through like a season and a half, maybe a little more, where it's starting to get a little off the rails.
Started season 2, but it'll get better. Yeah. It'll get better.
And it's funny. As soon as you think that, I'm just thinking of all the characters in that, and especially Julie, the coach's daughter, and I'm like, this is literally prime Bill teenage years that
I know,
he's
man.
Going through with a girl that is. I don't envy that.
That is not a boyfriend. Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
He's nice, but I said this yesterday, and Lori got mad at me. But whatever. Like, I like him. Earmuffs, kids. Earmuffs. If I like him, but he has penis, so I hate him. Like that's just the reality. That's just the
Matt Saracen was nice.
Who was?
Matt Saracen, the quarterback that dated Julie for a little bit, at least through the spoiler.
Dude, that show is
it's a great
that
show.
show is we're doing a TV show tomorrow. Me and listener Bryce, producer Bryce, because you and Tom are terrible at television talk, so I'm doing it without you guys. Yeah, that's why you're off tomorrow.
Great,
unbelievable.
Good.
Friday Night Lights is great, but I did warn you. Are you at the weird sort of murder or whatever stupid scene? Like
yes.
You'll get. I think I told you they're going to get to a point where it never happened. They just like one day it's like, oh, just kidding.
That's so funny. That's
weird. Gabe Davis, he's not wrong. Hi, Gabe, paid subscriber. Thanks for picking against the Seahawks all the way through. What's your final playoff percentage yet?
I don't know.
Is there a number lower than 0? I should keep. You know what? I have it written down, but I left it back home in LA. My percentage is real low.
Mine too. Because I was big on the Bills making a run, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to pivot to the Broncos here, and then. No,
you know what? I didn't take the Broncos. I didn't take the Broncos. I got that one. I got one. I got one right.
Yeah, and I thought the Rams. I had the Rams the whole way in the NFC. So, yeah.
We talked about this, or I talked about this. I'll ask you this. I talked about this the other day on the show, on the Monday show. I know that sometimes especially in football, Stu, when something happens, we go, that's a pattern. That's a new way this is the only way to win. And so I don't want to fall into that trap. But there was an idea a few years ago that you had to win with quarterback play, right? Like that was, and I think the example I used, and it doesn't mean it's not true then, and it won't be true next year if Mahomes is fine. But the example I used was when Mahomes broke into the scene early on, especially before Spags, or maybe Spags' first year as defensive coordinator. I can't remember the exact timing. The Chiefs defense would routinely be 25th, 26th, and we would talk about it. They can just get out of the top 20. They can be the 18th best defense. Mediocre. Right. They're a Super Bowl winning team. The win for Seattle and the run for the Patriots, I think actually the model is remarkable defense, great run game, especially in Seattle, and serviceable quarterback play. I mean, Darnold wasn't amazing in that game, and Drake May, even though he finished second in the MVP, and that's the way that you won in the 90s, right? Do you think, I'm not saying that's everybody now, but my sort of perspective is maybe we've returned to a point where, look, you have Josh Allen, you have Mahomes, that approach of score more points, best offense, be as good as you can be defensively. Obviously, you want more weapons. We'll probably still win more. I mean, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, those guys are combining for 2 or 3 Super Bowls in the next 7 years, and it's probably all for the Chiefs. But whatever, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. But I wonder if maybe there's a model now that Seattle has shown, a return to this being a viable path forward, where especially how much you pay quarterbacks, because Darnold doesn't make a ton, and obviously Drake May makes very, very little, where if you build it the right way, you can win with defense and the run game again.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And you have a defensive coach in McDonald. They drafted a guard in the first round, a left guard, Zabel, who became a great offensive lineman.
Star.
You have all those defensive pieces. You have the running back. And then the quarterback, like, I think he's making like 30, which I know sounds like a lot, but in this day and age where some are making 60, it's not. So if you either build around a quarterback like that you're not paying $60 million to, or you draft a quarterback in the first or second round, and then you're kind of going off of that with a great defense, a couple pieces here and there. Obviously, Jason is a great player. We know that, but he didn't have a great game, and they still, he's the offensive player of the year. He didn't have a great game. He missed most of the game, actually, with an injury, with a concussion, and they still won. And that defense was just unbelievable. Patriots couldn't move the ball. So I think you're right. I think we get so obsessed with the offense, and the next Ben Johnson, the next Sean McVay is the next coach, and the next Josh Allen, the next Lamar Jackson is the quarterback. Maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe if you build around a defense, you're right, with a defensive coach as well, maybe that's kind of the way to go.
I think what's going to make the league fun, and I don't mind that kind of play, because I can watch a 2-1 baseball game or a 1-0 baseball game and be interested. I actually enjoyed the Patriots Rams Super Bowl several years ago,
yes.
12-6. Yeah,
that's the one we went to. That's the one we went to. That was our one that we worked on. Yes,
and you and I
the
were
one in Atlanta. That was
you were
fun.
hammered. You were hammered.
That was a
I
great
wasn't.
Super Bowl. I know a lot of people want the offense, but that was a kind of defined Belichick's kind of whole career, and just that didn't have to have Brady throw for 400 yards and put up 30 points. Like, they could do it with
Sam
defense.
Darnold, 20th highest paid player in the sport, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 quarterback. He's the 13th highest paid quarterback.
It's crazy.
It creates some
crazy.
flexibility.
Yeah, it does. Of course it does.
Yeah, not only is Mike McDonald a defensive guy, obviously so is Vrabel. That's the first time since 2017 that two defensive-oriented guys were the head coaches of a Super Bowl team of both Super Bowl teams, and one of those is Belichick, which I mean it counts. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I mean that guy was
what was that? Carol Belichick?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Look at you, Stu. Your microphone works and you have sports knowledge.
Oh boy,
that was a Tom shot. Gabe, my percentage was 1 correct. So I don't know, 7%.
To answer your question, I got nothing right.
it was bad. In a similar vein, James the Fault over on X, maybe Sam Gosh Darnold, because that's what I called him, isn't a cubic zirconia. 4 teams removed from the Jets, all good defensive minds, have begun to turn the perceived lump of coal into a diamond emoji. It's a diamond emoji. The fact that he didn't fold under the pressure of the Pats D of the moment says it all. I think it's a great point worth revisiting. He only completed half of his passes. He wasn't amazing, but he didn't screw up, and he let the game plan. And this is the thing that I wanted your take on this too, because I thought of this. Sometimes I'll think of things and I'll go, God, I'm brilliant. And then people be like, yeah, like that's been said 87 times, like 4 years ago. But as much as we credit Tom Brady with being the sole reason for the Patriots' success, or the primary reason against Belichick, probably correct. Even though we credit Brady with being the best quarterback of all time, correct. Even though I noted the 28-3 comeback and the 2-point conversions, that second half against Atlanta was history-making in terms of not just that Super Bowl win, but his legacy. It's also true that one of those Super Bowls they won was because Belichick outthought Sean McVay, not because Tom Brady did anything in a 12-6 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And my takeaway being a great quarterback, the greatest quarterback of all time, sometimes just has to sit back and understand that it's not about him. I ain't mad at Sam Darnold for not having to play extraordinary. It worked. The end, right?
Who cares? No one's going to remember that. No, only Seahawks fans are going to remember the Super Bowl, and it's not going to be any thought of any less of Darnold. Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't care about Brad Johnson. He had an okay game against the Raiders 25 years ago, but that defense was amazing with 5 interceptions and all the point. I think they scored 2 or 3 defensive touchdowns, but no one's going to hold that against Brad Johnson. Like, of course, they won a Super Bowl.
I hold it slightly against Brad Johnson because he's the one guy where I'm like, that guy sucks.
Yeah, he was probably, when you think of a quarterback that is not...
He's the worst, yeah.
Dilfer might be close, but I think...
Could have been Rex Grossman, but he lost. All right.
Rex.
Last question from Trevor about you.
Oh, no.
Stu's girlfriend is Angie.
Oh, boy. Who made an appearance in the last week. Yeah.
Right. Lori didn't believe me. Angie was right. If you're so obviously most of you are listening, but you can watch the pod if you're a paid subscriber over on Substack, BillRider.substack.com. Angie appeared because she had to grab her bag or something. It was very funny. It's very funny. Okay.
I got the story afterwards. She had medicine in her bag that she needed to retrieve before she left for a couple errands that she was going on. So that's why she was up here crawling around, thinking she would not be seen, but she was clearly
no judgment. I found it amazing, and so did Trevor.
So good,
because he has a question about it.
Oh boy!
After Angie's appearance last week, will there be surprise appearances by any of Stu's other lady folk?
I guess we'll find out. It's a great question. It's a fair question. It's a great question. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. You have to subscribe and watch the videos.
Angie will have to be out of the house though for that. Probably side mailbag pocket note. Does TGS have a writing credit on Bad Bunny's Titi Me Pregunto? Titi Me Pregunto. Do you know what this is about? Because I had to Google it.
I don't know.
Okay. I also went to AI. Titi Me Pregunto translates to Auntie Asked Me in English. The phrase comes from the hit song by Puerto Rican artist Bad Bunny, referring to a controversial theme where his aunt asked him if he has many girlfriends. To which he replies that he does, but avoids commitment. That's your theme song,
Who that
Stewie.
sounds like? Who does that sound like?
That is Stu's theme song, buddy.
Maybe we'll have to play a podcast friendly version of that song every time I pop on here.
Oh, a little soccer breaking news. Want to hear this?
I think I know what it is. I saw right before we hopped on.
Thomas Frank fired by Tottenham?
When you are Tottenham and you are, with, I guess, 12 games to play and you are in a relegation battle, they are, I think, 16th. They are 16th. They are 5 points clear of relegation right now.
Wow.
If West Ham had held on to the lead against Manchester United yesterday on Tuesday, that would be 3 points. So it's rough. I don't know if they're going to get relegated.
They've never been relegated. They're one of the few clubs.
Yeah, they wanted a few. I think them and Everton.
My brother's a huge Tottenham fan. He will.
Yeah.
By the way, last year they were not in danger in theory, but they were so bad at the end. They only finished
15th or 16th. Ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And last year, the 3 teams that were relegated were so bad, and they were the 3 teams that got promoted from the second division the year before. It was pretty clear who's going to relegate. At least this year, we pretty much know 2, Burnley and Wolves in England, who are getting relegated. But that race for the last spot is interesting, and Tottenham is, at least right now, Tottenham's in it.
That is
crazy.
By the way, if you're watching David, or if you're watching other folks, one of the amazing things about soccer is that the bottom 3 teams in every league get kicked to basically what would be the AAA team.
Yep.
They're just kicked out, and sometimes they don't. I mean, sometimes they don't make it back for 20 years or ever.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of money that comes and players leave, and so there is no such thing as tanking. I mean, I like the NBA and I used to defend, but man, like just some of you can't do that because if you tanked and you were, the Wizards, you'd be kicked down to basically college basketball is the equivalent. Tottenham is a powerhouse that never wins. I can't. The thing is, they're in the top 8. Tottenham's in the top 8 in the Champions League.
They might make a run at Champions. I don't think they will, but they're at least in the conversation of, okay, they have the top 8. Like you said, you get kind of like an automatic bye, and it's just weird. Don't root for Tottenham, by the way. That is probably something that will cause you a lot more stress than you want. Unless you have some connection to Tottenham. I don't know how your brother does it, Bill, but
oh my God, they drew against Burnley a few weeks ago. I'm looking at their scores. Yeah, the last time that they won,
I think they have 2 wins out of 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my! I can't even. I'm back in December. I can't even find a win in the Premier League. They beat Brentford on December 6th. That's their last win. That's 2 months ago.
It's bad. It's very bad.
Who are they going to hire? Do we know? Are there odds out?
I haven't seen any odds yet. And the thing about Thomas Frank, who was their manager, he was the Brentford manager before being the manager of Tottenham. I thought he was the real deal. I thought he was going to get one of these big 6, one of these bigger clubs,
and succeed.
Do a really good job with them. Meanwhile, Tottenham's in the relegation zone, and the team he left, Brentford, is, I think they're 6 or 7 right now in the Premier League. So, yeah, they're 7th. They're tied with Liverpool. My Liverpool team. Go figure, on points with 39. So,
let me ask you a question.
Let me ask
you a question.
Sure.
Okay. My brother gets really mad at me when I bring this up and thinks I'm being absolutely ridiculous. Why not Xavi? For Tottenham, is he not perceived as a good coach?
I think he is. I mean, I don't think he is the best on the market, if you will. I think there are others. I don't know who they can get though. That's the thing. Like
nobody wants that job.
Everyone views Tottenham now as kind of
Xabi Alonso's not doing it. He's not going there.
No, he's going to Liverpool or Man City probably when they open up, respectively. Maybe this summer, both of them. It's just crazy.
Oh, by the way, Aaron Gakey is the proper name. I keep saying Aaron Gakey. One of our listeners, Aaron Gakey.
Okay,
I'm gonna remember. All right, Stu. I guess that's the show, huh? It's the Henry music, everybody.
The beats. I love it.
I mean, the show's over. It's also whenever I play this, Stu looks around for the ladies. He's like, "Oh, I'm not at the club. I'm not at the club." That's a mailbag. I like the mailbag shows. They're real loosey-goosey.
Mailbags are fun.
TV show tomorrow, kind of loosey-goosey week because I'm on vacation, and then we'll be back doing shows next week. Thank you for listening. BillRider.substack.com. Stu, you're the best. I know it's early there. Thanks for doing it and not complaining. Thanks for being the anti-Tom.
Appreciate it, Bill, of course.
Bye, buddy.